Hey y'all, okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna spray some alcohol on this cotton pad and rub that through my eyebrows. Now I do this to get rid of the excess oil and the moisturizer that I put on after I wash my face, just to make sure it's dry because I do get oily brows, so my brow product will come off if I allow it to. And so once I brush that through, I go ahead and grab my eyebrow archer, straight from the beauty supply store, and I go ahead and just clean up my brows. I cannot stand when excess brow hairs are under my brows. I can't do it. I have to have it clean. So I go ahead and clean those up really thoroughly and get those little pesky hairs off. Okay, once I do that, I go ahead and brush my eyebrow hairs through, brush them down, make sure nothing is too long or too short. If so, I just cut it with the scissors to get them all matching together. But after that, I go ahead and I do my glue. So this is the Duo Lash Glue. I got this technique from Lachey's Glams here on YouTube and on Instagram. I love her work. It's very full coverage, very glam. And so what I do is put this throughout my brows. Now this only works with this lash glue, the green Duo Lash Glue. And once I get that on there, I don't let it sit too long. You have to brush it through and you will find that your eyebrows will become sticky. Yes, sticky. And so once you do the spoolie and you rub that through, your eyebrow hairs they will stick to your skin and they will not move. And so that's the reason why I got it. My eyebrow hairs grow in curly, so this technique is really good for me. And they're not very full, so once I brush the hairs up with the spoolie, it makes my brow look even thicker, especially after I fill it in. So I just make sure my brow hairs are completely straight once I brush this product all the way through. This day I used the Milani eyebrow pencil. The Anastasia Beverly Hills works great with this technique as well. It actually works even better than the Milani pencil. But in the front, I'm gonna do the hair stroke straight up. As I go out, I really put a lot of work in on the tail because you guys know I lack the tail, and that's really where I want it because I like my brows pretty straight and I like that tail to give that effect of the snatch, you know. So I do the front and then I make sure I fill in the gaps. The thing about this is I don't use as much eyebrow product anymore because of the glue technique, and so I just fill in those gaps and create my tail and I'll be done. Instead of having to literally like draw a new brow on, I can actually fill in gaps now that I do the glue technique. So it just works much better for me, and then I'm gonna go in and carve it out. Using a concealer and very thin angled brush, I'm gonna go ahead and carve it out. I start at the front and I carve it out. There was a time where I used to use a darker shade on the top, which sometimes I still do if I'm going for like a daily look, but for full glam I go ahead and use both, and I make sure my blending is excessive. That's basically what I do. And if I have anything that's just too bright or out of this world, or if it gets caught on the glue, if I brush the glue out too far, I go ahead and take another brush with foundation on it, and then I'll just go over that mark so you don't see it anymore. And that's how I fix any problems with that. But yeah, this is what I do. With blending, I usually get a fluffy brush, but I always implement my finger because of the alcohol plus the glue. Sometimes it really doesn't want to move the concealer. And then the concealer I use to stay is actually very full coverage. And so I have to use my finger to go ahead and just get really aggressive and get in there. But the last thing you want is an unblended concealer around the brow. Like I can't have it. I won't have it. Okay, so the last thing I do is go ahead and take my spoolie again and I brush the front out, and I brush it out as much as I possibly can. I do not want the boxy looking filled in brow. I can't have it. It needs to look like hair is up there. So I brush it out thoroughly, and after I do that, that is it, y'all. That's my brow routine. It definitely looks crazy without the face of makeup, but it all comes together. It's so good. And I'm glad I found this technique. So y'all have a good one. Bye.